Right now, somewhere on Earth, a can of Pepsi is being opened every single second. Billions know the taste. Almost no one knows the man. It is $100 billion empire. It has outlived presidents, wars, and entire nations. And it began on a wooden counter in a small southern town. There was a man who mixed the very first glass with his own hands. He named it. He believed in it. And then he vanished. He died with almost nothing. No fortune. No statue. No headline. While the drink he created went on to conquer the world. How does a man invent something that billions consume, and end up forgotten by all of them? The answer is stranger than you think. This is the story of a single gamble that destroyed everything he built. A bet so reckless it erased his name from his own creation. His name was Caleb Bradham. And what they never told you is how close he came to ruling the world, before he lost it in a single year. New Bern, North Carolina, 1867. A quiet river town still bleeding from the wounds of the Civil War. Into this broken South, Caleb Bradham was born. His family had little money but enormous hope. They saw something in their son, a sharp, restless mind that refused to sit still. Caleb dreamed of becoming a doctor. He wanted to heal people, to matter, to escape the poverty that surrounded him on every side. He earned his way into the University of Maryland's medical school. For the first time, a poor boy from New Bern dared to imagine a bigger life. But fate had other plans. A family crisis struck, money ran dry, and Caleb was forced to abandon his medical dream just before the finish line. He returned home to New Bern with empty pockets and a wounded pride. He taught school for a while, hating every silent, defeated minute of it. But Caleb Bradham was not a man who stayed down. He scraped together everything he had and bought a small drugstore on Middle Street. It became more than a pharmacy. The soda fountain at the back turned into the beating heart of the whole town. Behind that counter, Caleb became a kind of local magician. He mixed tonics, remedies, and fizzing experiments, always chasing one perfect recipe. He noticed something. People didn't just come for medicine. They came for relief, for energy, for something that made a hard day feel lighter. And in the back of that little drugstore, Caleb Bradham began mixing the drink that would one day outlive him by a century. But it almost never existed. In the 1890s, America was obsessed with one idea, that the right drink could cure almost anything. Caleb saw a problem nobody had solved. People suffered constant stomach trouble. Indigestion, heaviness, exhaustion after meals. Caleb, the failed doctor, still wanted to heal them. So he set out to create a drink that did two things at once. It had to taste incredible, and it had to make people feel better. He experimented for months. Cola nuts for energy. Vanilla and rare oils for flavor. Sugar for joy. And a digestive enzyme he believed could soothe the gut. Then one day in 1893, he poured a glass for the regulars at his fountain. They went silent. Then they asked for another. Word spread fast. People started walking in just to ask for it by a nickname. They called it simply Brad's drink. But Caleb knew a nickname wouldn't conquer the world. He wanted a name with power. A name that promised what the drink delivered. He thought of dyspepsia, the medical word for indigestion. And the digestive enzyme pepsin. From those healing roots, he forged a single word. In 1898, he gave his creation the name it still carries today. He called it Pepsi-Cola. And here is what almost no one realizes. The name we shout at vending machines, see on billboards, and recognize in every country on earth, was invented by a small-town pharmacist as a promise to heal. Caleb didn't just stumble onto a drink. He branded it, trademarked it, and protected it like a man who knew he was holding the future. By 1902, demand had exploded far beyond one drugstore. Caleb Bradham incorporated the Pepsi-Cola company. The empire had officially begun. And it was about to soar. What started as a fountain favorite became a national craze. People didn't just like Pepsi. They wanted to take it home, by the bottle, by the case. Caleb made a brilliant move. Instead of bottling everything himself, he licensed independent bottlers across the country to spread Pepsi faster than he ever could alone. Within a few short years, his network grew from a handful of bottlers to hundreds. Pepsi was no longer a local secret. It was a movement. Caleb understood something most inventors never grasp. The product was only half the battle. The other half was making people believe in it. He poured money into bold advertising. Newspapers, painted walls, free samples at fairs. He even hired a famous race car driver as one of his first celebrity faces. Money flowed in. Caleb became one of the most respected businessmen in North Carolina. The poor boy who failed medical school was now a wealthy industrialist. He bought a grand home. He gave generously to his community. He became a leader, a banker, a pillar of New Bern. He had everything he once dreamed of. By 1915, Pepsi-Cola was selling millions of gallons a year. Caleb stood at the top of an empire he built with his own two hands. But empires are fragile things. Caleb had one weakness, though he didn't see it as one. He was a gambler at heart. A man who trusted his gut even when the stakes were everything. And here is what they never told you. The very confidence that built his empire was the exact thing that would one day burn it to the ground. Sugar. Every bottle depended on it. Every sale needed it. And the price of sugar was about to do something no one in history had ever seen. Far away in Europe, a war was tearing the world apart. And that war was about to reach all the way to a soda fountain in New Bern, North Carolina. World War I had disrupted global trade. Sugar shipments were strangled. Prices began climbing higher and higher, and panic crept into every factory in America. Caleb watched the price of sugar double, then triple. To him, this wasn't a threat. To a gambler, it looked like the opportunity of a lifetime. He was wrong. Here is the decision that ended everything. As sugar prices soared during the war, Caleb made a bet. He believed prices would keep climbing forever. So he did something staggering. He spent enormous sums buying up huge quantities of sugar at sky-high wartime prices, stockpiling it before it could rise again. His logic seemed brilliant. If sugar kept getting more expensive, he would own a fortune in the one thing every soda company desperately needed. He poured nearly everything he had into this single conviction. His company's cash, his credit, his future, all bet on the price of sugar going up. And then the war ended. And what happened next changed everything for Caleb Bradham, in the cruelest way imaginable. With peace, the trade routes reopened. Sugar came flooding back into the world by the shipload. Suddenly there was too much of it. Far too much. The price of sugar didn't just fall. It collapsed. In a matter of months, it crashed from record highs to almost nothing. And Caleb was holding it all. The fortune he had locked away in sugar was now worth a fraction of what he paid. Every sack in his warehouse had become a financial wound that would not stop bleeding. Debts piled up like the sugar he couldn't sell. The banks came calling. The empire that took 20 years to build began to crack in a single, brutal year. He fought. He scrambled. He tried every deal, every loan, every desperate idea to save the company that carried the name he invented. But the math was merciless. In 1923, the unthinkable happened. The Pepsi-Cola company, Caleb Bradham's life's work, was declared bankrupt. The empire was over. The brand he created, the name he forged from a dream of healing, was sold off to settle his debts. It slipped out of his hands forever. Think about that. The man who invented Pepsi, who named it, who built it from a drugstore counter, no longer owned a single drop of it. Here is the part history almost never mentions. Pepsi didn't die with Caleb's bankruptcy. Years later, other men revived it, rebuilt it, and made billions. They took the name he created and turned it into one of the most valuable brands on the planet. But by then, Caleb Bradham was already a forgotten man. After losing Pepsi, Caleb Bradham did the only thing he had left. He went back to where it all began, behind the counter of his little drugstore. The man who once commanded hundreds of bottlers now measured out simple medicines for neighbors. No empire. No fame. Just the quiet rhythm of a small-town pharmacist. He never fully recovered, financially or in spirit. The weight of what he had built and lost followed him quietly for the rest of his days. He found some peace in service. He had led the local National Guard. He had helped found a bank. He remained respected in New Bern. But the world beyond forgot him. In 1934, Caleb Bradham died. He was 66 years old. He passed without fortune, without headlines, and without ever seeing what his creation would become. He never saw the global empire. Never saw the billions of cans, the worldwide ads, the brand wars, the value beyond imagination. He died believing he had failed. And here is the cruelest twist of all. Today, the name Pepsi is worth tens of billions of dollars. The name Bradham appears almost nowhere on it. Walk into any store on earth. You'll see his creation on the shelf. You'll see the word he invented. But you will not see the man who dreamed it up. Every time someone says the word Pepsi, they are speaking a name born in a small drugstore, created by a failed doctor who wanted to heal people. Most will never know. His legacy isn't a fortune he kept. It's a word the entire world now shares without knowing where it came from. And that raises a haunting question. Caleb Bradham built something immortal, and it outlived his memory. The drink survived. The man dissolved. And maybe that's the strangest kind of success there is. He didn't lose because his idea was bad. His idea was genius. He lost because he gambled on certainty in a world that offers none. One reckless bet on sugar erased 20 years of brilliance. It's a reminder that what you build can be taken by a single decision made in confidence. And yet, there's something beautiful here too. A poor boy who failed his dream of medicine still managed to leave a mark on every corner of the world. He never knew it. He died thinking the story ended in failure. But his story didn't end. It just went on without his name attached. So the next time you hold a cold Pepsi, remember the failed doctor behind the counter. The man who mixed a cure, named a legend, and was forgotten by the world he flavored. Here's the question I'll leave you with. If everything you built outlived your name, would that be success, or the loneliest failure of all? Tell me what you think below.